hip-hop night. Latin spice and neon lights. In the city where we unite. Making music, taking flight. Moving with the groove so strong. From dusk to dawn we sing our song. East 10-5 we all belong. In Hialeah where hearts belong. Yeah, these 10th Street boys bring the party. Bring the noise from Hialeah with some joy. Miami flavor we deploy.
Ahora de Cuba la Bella, del Palacio de los Jugos, los chicharrones. Los vecinos aquí se enteran de todo.
Mi vecina era CDR en Cuba.
Y en verdad no hay nothing that you can do. Chacleteras sin llames con corbata.
Aquí yo vendo hot dog, pero en Cuba yo era médico.
Le saco el dedo y digo Q. Sweet home Hialeah. Solo 30 minutos de Le Bayo. Oh, sweet home Hialeah. I hate your traffic, but I love you. Is this thing on? Oh, hello. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of East 10th Street Boys, straight out of Hialeah. I'm Bobby Melendez, joined always by my brother, Alex Atiachiska, who's on mute, so let's get him off of that. Oh, man, he muted himself. That's okay. He doesn't.
Just to be
you don't want
safe,
that Shannon Sharp moment. That's what you don't want.
You
don't
don't
want
come on and say I got hacked. Come on, bro. Like we
just,
know you.
Just own up to it, bro. It's all good.
Come on. It's one of those things that everybody knows you're doing it, but just because now it's on live, it's like, oh my god, Unc did that. He does it every night, bro. That's fine. It's good. He's chilling.
What's up, brother? It's been a little bit, bro. Man.
It has, but it looks like it's been such a long time, only like a week and a half. But we got a brand new layout. We got some music to start up that gets you fired up and going. Woo! I like that song. I'm just gonna play it. I'm gonna go to sleep tonight. Just
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Replay.
I play it while I'm in the car. I'll turn it on my radio and I'm blasting it.
I'm playing while I'm in the shower and I'm like,
in the shower, in my lonely moments, you know, Bobby El Gringo, Alex the Boy, feel the heat, feel the noise.
Rubber ducky just floating on the water.
Yeah, I'm in my bathtub. You know, East 10th Street Boys. Anyway, my goodness.
Oh man.
So it's been a little bit. It's late, but that's okay.
Yes.
I mean, we usually go 9:30. We're back on Wednesday nights because the season has started, the NFL season. So we got post game and pre-game. We could have done it on Sunday because the Dolphins won't play on Sunday. But
that's true.
It's great. It is. We could have done it. Could have done it, but that's I don't know. Maybe we'll figure it out.
Let's just go to sleep. All right, bye guys. We'll see you Sunday.
Yeah, sorry. We'll talk. Well, you know what? Forget
it was nice talking to you.
It's cool. But no, I wanted to do this because it's been a little bit since I hung out with my brother and just to chat it up and talk Dolphins and the Hurricanes and I had a whole thing and I lost it. So I mean, I'll just go off the cuff. But before all that, Alex, man, it's been a little bit, brother. How you been, man?
I've been good, man. Getting back into the swing of things, obviously now with school schedule, our basketball conditioning is starting up, work, life, family. My son's travel hoop is picking up again. We're in the Adidas circuit this year, so there's going to be a little bit of traveling involved. The practice started October is right around the corner. It's our first tournament, so it's kind of getting back into the mixture of back to school and then now end of the year. So I get busy now at the end of the year a lot because people want to fix up their homes, have everything ready for the holiday season. So it's just a transition period, really, getting back to the normal thing, but can't complain. Alive and well, bro. How about you, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well. And here we got one of our Miami Springs alums, Steve Malloy, in the house. Hialeah alums, straight out of Hialeah, Steve Malloy, who is sporting it. Now, Steve, confirm, is that a mustache? Because I came on Real Talk Rants to watch some of his show, and his beard was gone. His beard was gone.
What's going on
I thought
here?
I saw just the mustache. I was like, all right, Steve.
Oh, man.
Steve Malloy with a new look. He had 2 shows in a row, 2 days. I mean, he's putting the work there on FTSN. He had Real Talk Rants yesterday with Greg Maney, and then he did a preview show for the Dolphins versus Buffalo tomorrow night. Oh, just the mustache. All right.
Hey, I feel a little weird, bro. Aren't you always on the left side, Bobby, here? I feel weird now, right? Let's switch that. Let me. You're gonna switch it up? Okay, there we go. Now, now back to normal.
It's like the bedmates, like you're in my spot. You just
it's like, dude, this is my spot. Can you just switch over? I can't turn my face this way. I like to.
I get so mad. Like if I come in the room and I want to lay down, and Tati's laying at my spot.
Why?
Why? What's the point? Why would you need to lay right here? Oh no, nothing. Move over. Now my spot is hot. Like I don't like that. I like a nice cold.
There's nothing worse than going to go to sleep and your pillow's hot. Like, come on, man. There's an etiquette of going to sleep and making sure your pillow's nice and cold.
Have manners.
It's just etiquette.
They never taught her that in Puerto Rico.
Wow.
In that nice stick house with the palm trees that acted as a roof. And as they ate rice and beans and
they didn't eat cats, right? Did they eat cats or dogs?
Don't do that.
I'm not gonna go by this one. They're eating the pets. They're eating the pets.
They ate pigs. I know that. Anyway, and they're Puerto Rican smartass. Anyway, kind of chewing ice.
Remind me to send you a meme, Bob, before we end the show. I gotta send it to you.
Right.
Actually, I'm gonna send it to you on the show so you can react to it while you're talking.
But anywho. So much to talk about. The Dolphins playing the Buffalo Bills tomorrow. Alex, we haven't talked even about you and I haven't talked about the Dolphins at all. We haven't
at all
on the first game of the season, the Jacksonville Jaguars. I had the score I had was 31-20. Ended up being 20-17 already.
Yeah,
it was a lot closer than I had thought, but it kind of makes sense in the end.
Yes.
But I don't want to. What do you call? Phil, I'm gonna let you talk about it.
Yeah.
Thoughts on the game? Where did you come out of that game going, damn, maybe it's this, because you're hyped on the team as much as
Absolutely.
But you come out of that watching against the Jacksonville Jaguars going, damn, man, maybe they're not what I thought they were. Does it give you any discouragement, or you're like, you know what, this is the start of it?
Yeah, no, not at all. It's the start of it. Honestly, it also was a very emotional day, and we'll talk. I'm pretty sure we'll touch upon the Tyreek Hill situation. So it was a very emotional team situation. So that does affect your performance some way or somehow. People would like to think it doesn't, but anything that happens during your game day, that's why these guys have preps. You saw the meme, right? You saw it? Show it to Tati. It affects. It has an effect on the situation, on your in-game situation. That's why players and coaches have routines, because we all have creatures of habits, and we create that to create a comfort level so you can perform at your maximum ability. Now, having said that, it's the first game of the season, and that's why I've always been a big believer. Training camp reps and game reps. There's no shortage of that is necessary. So I don't judge a team even the first or two games. I really don't. You want to come out of the guns blazing, out of the start guns blazing, so you can start and kind of define your season, because you don't want it to derail. But to me, what I was most impressed with, obviously, was Tua's poise, situational football, where the defense in the second half, the adjustments they made, the offense, the adjustments they made, like it was a second half of pure adjustments. They hit on all cylinders. We shut out the Jags in the second half, and Tua became a different quarterback in the second half. The team played differently in the second half. So these are one of these games that a few years ago, you don't win a game like this. And then it starts questioning play calling. And to me, one of the aspects that I was most impressed with, aside from the aggressiveness of Weaver defensively, Jalen Phillips came back super strong, which is amazing. Javon Holland, probably one of the best safeties in football. But aside from that, was McDaniel's clock management at the end. Trusting Jason Sanders, even after Jason Sanders missed the previous kick. I am of the mindset that I take a few shots in the end zone, but he played it with full confidence, which a few years ago, Mike McDaniel probably takes a few shots at the end zone, and then you risk an interception. So that situational football, late game management, clock management, it to me was exceptional in regards to previous years, and that's part of the growth. So I'm glad we got a game like that out of the way, because those are the games that great teams have to win. When you're not clicking on all cylinders, when you're all of a sudden not the fastest team that day, when things are not working to your advantage, you got to find ways to win. Because even Kansas City last year, if we remember, Kansas City started very slow last year offensively. They got comfortable as the year went on, but their defense and the run game took them the distance last year, realistically. Mahomes didn't have a super crazy year. Obviously, Mahomes is always going to be Mahomes. But I was excited to see this football team win a game that Super Bowl contending teams have to win in a season. Because not every game is going to be a blowout. Not every game is going to be a walk in the park. So the fact that we were able to do that game one, now comes another test. But at home, to me, a battered Buffalo, I know they won, but Buffalo to me will weaken as the years go on. They really have. It's just Josh Allen offensively. You know, they're half cooked, but realistically, this team defensively, they lost a whole lot of people. So this is the year, and this is a great test. And I know it's early, but I have great confidence tomorrow we're gonna pull out the victory in a dominant fashion.
Yeah, man. Everything you said, I mean, right on the dot. It's, I talked about that on our post-game show with Finstanza, that the Dolphins don't win this type of game a few seasons ago.
No.
The Dolphins offense started slow. It seemed a bit rusty. Obviously, the running game didn't really get going. The passing game wasn't hitting until the second half. It came alive, and it went for everybody. It wasn't just the quarterback. It wasn't just everyone. Kind of was a slow start. As even the play calling was kind of like what the heck is this?
Yeah.
And again, these guys have not played a lot. The offense, especially, Tyreek and Jalen Waddle did not play at all during the preseason.
No.
Johnny played a little bit. Achin and Mozart, I don't think, played at all. Tua played one series. So they had to kind of knock that rust off, and it seemed that the game went on, they got hotter. I was very happy with the defense, especially the pass rush early on, with Calais Campbell setting the tone. With the very first play on defense was a sack. And then Jalen Phillips and Emmanuel Akba, kudos to them, with the clutch sacks at the end. Jeff Wilson with the clutch run. And, of course, Tua getting hotter as the game went on. And I agree 1,000% with Steve Malloy, where this game right here, this type of football game, and it seems like it may that this type of game builds character in the team.
Correct.
If you're winning every game against teams like the Jaguars by 30 points, it's going to look fun. It's going to look amazing. Oh, my God, we're the number one offense. We're this, we're that, we're this, we're that. But when it comes time against those teams like Buffalo in late December, those playoff caliber type of football teams that are physical, that's when you're going to fold. But if you start off this season now in a dogfight, that's going to build that character up. So when it comes time end of the season, when you're getting knocked on your ass and you're down by 14 points as the Dolphins were on Sunday, you're going to end up pulling that out because you're going to know, hey, this game is not over. We're one play away from getting back into this football game. So it's not the win that I predicted. It's not the type of win that I would have liked. But in the end, it's a great learning type of win. A win is a win, but this was a good win to have because it's going to help build that. Thursday games obviously suck for teams in general. It's you play on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You don't have time. Monday is usually a day off. I was just listening to John Gruden today. He has a YouTube channel, and he was talking about the Miami Dolphins versus the Buffalo Bills, and he was saying like he hated Thursday Night Football as a coach, because Monday you usually take off, you spend it with your family, then you come in Tuesday morning ready to go, and then Wednesday you walk through, Thursday walk through, Friday, and then you go into the game. For this game, you got to go in on Monday morning, watch the film, do a walkthrough of the game. Tuesday, Wednesday, still beat up, and go into the game on Thursday night. Here's the credit for Miami, because this is something he did say. He's like, you got to get Monday, get ready for the game. Tuesday, walk through. Tuesday, walk through. Wednesday, practice, blah, blah, blah. He goes, and then you got to get on an airplane on Wednesday to fly down to the game. Miami doesn't have to fly down.
No, it's right
Miami's at home.
Yeah.
Dolphins are at home. So
we're away game 3. Are we away the 3rd game of the season?
I think so. Yeah, I don't have it in front of me.
Okay. So either way, they're probably going to get Friday off, Saturday
off. And this is fair point. The Buffalo Bills are 6-1 on Thursday night games, and they've won 6 on the road.
Yeah.
Without Stephon Diggs, Coach McDermott, Josh Allen, still on the Buffalo Bills. They are the big brother of the division. To be the man, you got to beat the man. And Miami has not done that. This is Miami's best chance to do it. This time right now, it's game 2 of the season, at home at Hard Rock, under the primetime lights. Yes, you're going to be without Raheem Mostert. Elijah Campbell, I think, is out as well. Devon Achane is a game-time decision. I think he will play. We might see Jalen Wright finally, get a chance there. Jeff Wilson will get an opportunity. But I expect the offense to be more now or never. Now's the time. And I'll tell you this. Again, I'll give the prediction tomorrow. Alex can give the prediction tonight. But I do believe Miami has a strong chance to win this football game because of what they went through. And I really like what I saw from our defense.
Yes.
And
we talked about it all off season. People were going to be surprised with how well this defense is going to perform. Even the run defense. Like, they had this big, oh my God, the Miami's run defense. I think I know it's only week 1, but aren't we ranked number 1 or number 2 in run defense?
I don't know.
Steve
usually has those numbers, but I haven't. I'll pull them up tomorrow. Run defense, one of my keys to the game against Jacksonville was stopping the run. Travis Etienne, Tank Bigsby,
yeah, Bigsby,
and they had a very good game. Miami struggled against the run in that game.
Correct.
Miami has to do better tomorrow. Josh Allen. Doesn't say Zach Moss, James Cook. Those guys are a tough task. But then you add Josh Allen and that athleticism and what he could do with that football. Miami's defense and their linebackers are going to have to step up and stop that run. That's going to be a major key. And I'm spoiling it now, but that's a major key. Again, I'm going to say it this week. Stopping the run, limiting the running.
I expect a big game from David Long
for Buffalo. Yeah, step up, stop that run, force Josh Allen to throw it, rattle him early on. Hopefully, just like against Jacksonville, Calais Campbell, Phillips, and Agba get to that quarterback early on. Agba, and then maybe
Zach Sealer,
and hopefully Chop Robinson. Get more involved too, and possibly make some plays on that defensive line. And the secondary, Steve brings up another good point with the backfield hadn't played together all training camp. That's another one. They haven't been really together.
No.
Again, that was another one where at first they looked a little rough. They looked like a little rusty, kind of, Jalen Ramsey was not
you
really...
saw the miscommunication on the Brian Thomas touchdown. That's part of the epitome
100%.
of that. That was communication.
But as the game went on,
they got better.
The game went on, you saw them start to click. And
it took a half. That's it.
Kudos to again, you even go Jason Sanders, right? The first pick, he missed that major kick, which that was a very important 3 points. You're going, oh shoot, here we go.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Fitz Stanza to message me. He didn't. Kudos to him. But I said, okay. And then he hit the clutch field goal to tie it, and he hit the clutch field goal to win it. And there you go.
To win it.
14th ranked rushing defense right now.
Okay.
It's only week 1, but still, it's only 14th ranked. Which makes sense to me. And but he even showed that he could be clutch. So here we go. Josh Allen's left hand is broken. Can't protect the ball. Go for the ball every play. I know he hit it on a helmet, I think. I didn't know it was broken. I knew he hit it on someone's helmet.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's broken.
Anyway,
man. That's difficult.
It looked like to me the team got better as the game went on all around. Jalen Ramsey had a big play. Javon Holland, I call it like the Floyd Mayweather, Muhammad Ali punch.
Bro, he
knock
has
that ball out.
Perfect timing. Beautiful. Every single time. I think hands down, he's the best ball knockout specialist in the NFL. He punches that ball right on time, man.
Yeah, again, it wasn't the way I would have said it, and I probably would not have wanted it.
Yeah.
But in the end, it's all that matters. And it's a character building win for the Miami Dolphins. Against the Buffalo Bills were kind of in the same situation as Miami. They were down by 14 points as well against Arizona. It was a high score game, but Buffalo also came back, kind of silencing everybody a little bit on the whole, hey, if Josh Allen doesn't have Stephon Diggs, what's going to happen? He ended up stepping up and having himself a game not unnormal. I don't sleep on Buffalo like most. I still think I'm leaning towards Miami winning this football game.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to win the football game. But anyway, Alex, let me ask you this without the prediction. What are your 3 keys to victory to beat the Buffalo Bills tomorrow night?
Well, number one is contain Josh Allen. That is, but like you just mentioned, that is your top priority. I'm not going to really pinpoint any individual sector. To me, the 3 keys are team. Offensively, whoever is out, even Mostert or not, stick to your game plan, play comfortable football. And when I mean comfortable football, it's not complacent, play not to lose. No. Play to your identity. Try to establish your identity early. And we got playmakers on both sides of the football. So to me, the offense has to be aggressive. Defense has to be aggressive. So that's my number 2 key. And number 3 is the big play ability. Do not take it away from yourself early. Whether it's a chain is there, whether it's right. We have 4 to 5 players that are ignitable and have big plays ability that change the momentum of a game, even defensively, like a Javon Holland play. So I'll actually do that. Because I want 1 key. The tight end position, to me, is essential. Smythe, I almost killed Smythe through the TV when he had 3 drops.
He was ridiculous, dude.
I'm like, at this
point, Smythe dropping balls like crazy.
So I know OBJ is coming. I know Malik Washington's trying to get healthy. Hopefully he doesn't miss an extended period of time. I know he's going to miss at least 4 games, right? Or 6 games.
Yeah.
But OBJ is on the trajectory. Juno Smith and Julian Hill, you have to involve them early. And you're going to be able to use them. And remember how we talked about a chain. Look at that. He had 7 targets, caught all 7 balls for like 50-something yards. We saw the blueprint. We talked about people like, oh my God, Miami's wide receiver. I'm like, guys, relax. The reason they're going to deploy a chain in that role when Mostert is healthy, and even with Wright healthy, Wilson, you have 4 running backs that are replaceable for one another, so you can keep a balanced attack and still have 3 running backs, and one of them is a default wide receiver. So one of my keys I'm going to leave for the tight end position. You got to establish the middle of the field early so they don't take away long ball over the top. So you got the possibility with Tyreek Hill, Waddle, the big play ability opens up your running games. So contain Allen, both offensive and defense, have to be aggressive, maintain aggressive from the start, and the tight end position. Establish the tight end position early and kill them little by little. Do not give up any opportunity and just establish your identity early.
I love it. I think containing Josh Allen is very important. Containing the run is very important. And again, as I said in week 1, I'll say again, and it will say tomorrow, score fast, score often, set the tone on offense. Put that defense, the Buffalo defense, on notice. This is not going to be a slow type of game. Score fast, set the tone. And then on defense, set the tone by being physical on Josh Allen and that Buffalo offense. And when the second half shows up, gets there, and if you're leading, control the clock, kill the clock, run the football, whether it's Devon Achane, Jeff Wilson, or Jalen Wright, run that football. Get those guys involved. And you brought up the point, man. We talked about it before the season. I did in regards of Devon Achane. This receiver room, with Odell Beckham eventually returning. Hopefully Malik Washington gets in there. Again, Barrios, I just can't. And Craig Kraft is out. That sucks. But
that's another one.
I wasn't as concerned because of our running back room. Devon Achane, and I said it, was going to be used as a receiver and a running back. He's to be. I said it in the fantasy football. I said it on one fantasy football show for Ruckus Entertainment, friends of the network, and I was on their fantasy football show, and obviously our draft show with Once Upon a Sunday. I drafted Devon Achane in the second round, and
which you had a pick before me. You had a pick before me. He was going to be my pick, and you picked him right before me.
I picked him, and somebody said on one of the things, they said, "Oh, isn't that a lot?" No, it's not high. I think he's going to be a first-round talent next season on the fantasy football, because you're going to see he's going to be used as a runner, he's going to be used as a receiver, he's going to be used as a returner. This guy's going to be a superstar, and he is. To me, he is a superstar.
You know, and I'm going to interrupt you, Bobby, just one thing. You know what it reminds me of? The situation that we're going to have with Achane and Wright, Reggie Bush and McAllister. At that time, the Saints, when they drafted Reggie Bush,
McAllister,
yes, and I used to love it because it was like the yin and the yang. One was a power runner, but he could also catch off the backfield. And then you have Reggie Bush, that is the big playability. And to me, it's insane because Achane and Jalen Wright are actually very similar in their talents. Obviously, Achane could be more of a wide receiver, but they both have that big playability. And I'm like, bro, you have a two running back monster, and obviously Mostert and Wilson will get you, but future, you see it in Achane and Wright. That's going to be the 1-2 punch offensively.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And so we'll see, man. I mean, I'm very excited about seeing Jalen Wright whenever we do see him. I'll trust the coaching staff on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Also, kudos to the offensive line. Obviously, the run protecting was not good, and that was as a team. The receivers did not do their job in regards to blocking the run. The tight ends did not do their job. That goes the whole team. Obviously, Robert Jones at left guard was not good.
No.
And he did not come off good at the end, too, when you finally saw the grade either. I know Steve is huge on PFF grades, and I saw those, and we're good. But Eichenberg, I think he did his job. Austin Jackson and Terran Armstead did really well. So hopefully they continue to get better as the season goes on. For tomorrow's game, Alex.
Yeah.
Who are you looking? Who needs to have the best game in order for us to win? Like at the end of the night, this guy. You go, okay, this guy had a monster game. He has to have a great game for us to win. If he doesn't, if he's at the end of the night, his stat line is mediocre. I don't know. We lost this football game.
I'll put out the whole unit. I think the defensive line and the linebackers, front seven, defensively need to have the best game, because offensively, I think we have enough against the Bills. Like I said, handicap defense per se. They're going to be missing, I think, 2 or 3 key starters, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong, but I think they're depleted defensively in comparison to last year. So
their star corner is out on defense.
Right there, you got Hill and Waddle. So, like you said, you're going to score often, score early, and don't take your foot off the pedal, bro. Build a 30, 40-point lead if you want to, if you have to, because Allen is a threat on the ground, in the air. I told my buddies, look, I think Allen's going to lead the league in turnovers this year because he's going to have to be forced. I think the Bills are not going to go far this year. That doesn't mean Allen's not talented. I just think he's going to lead the league in turnovers, fumbles, and interceptions combined, because he's going to be forcing a lot of things this year. So if the front seven, D-line, linebacking unit, if they have an awesome game, like you said, stat-wise, we get a few sacks, quarterback pressures, stop the run, I think this game is ours. That, to me, is the key. If they're doing good, if they're doing well, we have a lot of 3-and-outs or a lot of 3-and-longs, one conversion here and there, that's fine. But if the defense is off the field for the majority of the time, we're going to be fine.
All right. I'm not going to give my prediction right now in regards to score, because I'm on post pregame tomorrow night.
Yes.
After work, I'm going to have to run home and do it. But your prediction for tomorrow, who wins and what's the final score?
My prediction, obviously, the Dolphins are going to win, and I believe it'll be 38-24.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's really going to be 38-17, but we're going to give up like a late game touchdown, just one of those comebacks. So it's going to be closer than it appears. Correct.
It's a gimme. Got you. All right. Well, there you guys have it. There's your keys to the game, keys to victory. And Alex predicts Miami will win 38-24. Dolphins over Buffalo on Thursday Night Football. So they'll be 6-2, Steve Malloy, after tomorrow night.
Yeah. Goddamn right.
So I haven't heard this, and I'm not going to play it on the show, but I want to hear it very quick. I'll skip through some parts so I get there faster. Shannon Sharp addressed on his podcast, Club Shay Shay, or Nightcap Show, on what happened on IG today, and I won't go into details too much. Unless you know, then we will. But I just want to hear what exactly if stop it. Let me hear if because I know he said his thing was hacked, so I assume he was saying that wasn't him. But now it says here, quote unquote, my heart sank, and it says Shannon Sharp addresses the incident of him unknowingly going live on IG while apparently,
having sex. It's look to me.
Birds and the bees.
To me is one of those concepts that obviously because he's a public figure, of course. So they're gonna defend right away, and this is the predominant de facto excuse. Oh, it was hacked. Everybody gets hacked now. It's like, no, he says that he's never been on IG Live, but he just threw his phone. And I don't know about you, but whenever certain actions are going to take place, even when you're calling somebody or anything, you make sure your phone is not on an active app. I make sure WhatsApp is not open, no pictures, like my camera is not on. So you don't know at this point if it's an intentional leak or someone actually just left his phone on, or he left his phone on. Now he's coming back to admit that he did. But once again, is an act that everybody knows that he can do at any single point. But the fact that thankfully you don't see anything, but you hear it. So it's just like an audio that creates an image. And now it's going to be talked about. It's a normal act that everybody does. So it's nothing outrageous, but just the fact that it's Shannon Sharp, and it's just comical.
Let me hear
the back and forth. I honestly would have been awesome. Cool. It's like, yo, my bad. IG was live. I don't even know what the fuck that happened, but yeah, I was slapping those cheeks. You can say it, and that's it, and you're good. That's it, bro. Everybody laughs it off. Nothing happens. But
let's hear what he says. Let me hear what he says very quick.
Go.
I'll fill you in.
Go ahead.
Let me see.
Is he talking? Is he doing with Chad Johnson now or no?
Yeah,
I
haven't heard what Ocho Cinco said, but Ocho Cinco was supposedly, I read on earlier that he was giving him shit. So I want to hear. So he's just saying, he's a very private person, and what happened earlier, blah blah. So that's what he's saying right now.
Unk going at it. Oh man.
He's very embarrassed, not for the act, because I'm sure there's millions. He said because there's millions and billions of people who of consenting age that perform. So this is where he's going. So hold on. Came in. I threw my phone on the bed. I engaged in an activity.
Bro.
Live. Oh no! He had to call us. He said I think I'm getting to that part that his friend somebody called him. And said,
he was.
Everybody can hear you. Something. Hold on.
Everybody can hear you.
You're on IG Live. What am I doing? Doing what? They could hear. Hear me doing what? okay. So he admitted to it, that yes, that's exactly what he was doing.
Come on, bro. Why
did his friend called him and said, "Hey, you're on IG Live." He says, "What do you mean I'm on IG Live? You're on IG Live. They could hear." And he said he got pissed. He's like, "Hear what? Like, I don't even know what IG Live is. I hear you haven't." And he said, "My heart sank." And so he called his sister. He called his friend. He's like, "Oh God, it is." But yeah. But it's still kind of like, oh,
it's embarrassing. No. It's embarrassing because that's like I said, it's something that he does, or he could do with whoever he wants. He's not married. He could do multiple people if he wanted to every day. That doesn't matter. But the fact that now thank God there's no image, obviously, for his family and all that. But just the audio is that, Mama, look, I wanted to. I didn't do it on purpose, Mom. Mama, that. To me, the funniest thing is like the first person you think of was like, oh shit, I'll call my sister. Like, yo, like the whole world saw this. Like don't just come on and say you got hacked.
They heard you, bro.
Just don't say anything, bro. We see it. We hear you.
Like what? What was that? That's what I would be like. Are you having a heart attack? Like what?
Yeah, are you
that
okay?
Sound? Like, well, yeah. Oh, did you see the people commenting? R-Truth, WWE superstar R-Truth, who should be in the Hall of Fame. He's hilarious. Ron Killings is his name. He was commenting live as it was happening. He was like, "Whoa, wait a second, what are they doing?"
Oh, Sharp.
Yeah. He was on. Everybody, people were commenting live as it was going down.
You see, can you notice the world we live in, bro?
They stayed
by mistake. Of course, man. Like even by mistake, this guy goes on IG Live. That's what I tell people, especially older generations. If you're not familiar with technology, you got to be very careful, because if, let's say, his phone, it was like a flip, like one of those, like the Galaxy ones or whatever, that can close up and all that, and he just leaves it on. My mom sometimes does that. Like, she'll call somebody, right? She hangs up. She has the cover for the phone, and she'll put the cover on, and it calls the same person again. And you could be talking shit about someone that you just talked to, and you call them accidentally, and they hear you and everything. I'm like, you gotta be very careful with all this shit, bro.
Always. No, you gotta be.
And bro, whatever you're gonna do, it's very simple. You're gonna do any activity, you go to your phone, you lock everything up, you erase everything, and then you do this.
Ain't nobody thinking about your phone right before you're gonna do. But you're into the. Hey, babe, hold on.
Now, my thing is, what did he have to do? What was he doing that within 2 seconds he just throws his phone? Like, was he on IG? Was he looking through something? Like, one of those things. Like, how did it get to IG Live? Like, because you gotta click it. Like, you gotta click go live.
Listen, they're not gonna let this go right now. Right now, on Nightcap, I gotta watch this afterwards.
I want to see Chad Johnson just go out.
Yeah,
Chad Johnson is awesome.
Ocho Cinco's is laughing his ass off, and Shannon Sharp said that she has to put ice or something. Oh my goodness! But we'll get to it later. Anyway, Jesus. Hurricanes, get the Hurricanes football. Canes are 2-0. They laid the smack-a-down on FAMU.
FAMU.
What was it? 56-9.
Yeah.
They beat the Gators 41-17.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna face Ball State. Hey, kudos to the Miami Hurricanes. It is awesome to be a Canes fan right now. It's awesome to be a South Florida sports fan, because you think about what the potential of the Miami Dolphins, what they should be. We don't know. We'll see how it ends, but we know what they should be. But the Florida Panthers win the championship last season, first time in history.
Mm-hmm.
The Marlins, we know they're not going to do anything this season. They're out. No. They're done. But then you see what Connor Norby, and you see Conine, and you see them, and you're like, and Sandy and Yuri are coming back. Yeah. Like, hey, wait a second, this could be a hot young gun team next season.
Yeah.
And Heat, we'll see. We know they're always going to probably be in the thick of it, if not not the 5th seed or the 8th seed. They always could sneak away into the 1st seed.
Heat are going to surprise a lot of people this year.
But you know what I mean? Like, the Heat are like the one that you're like, okay, if there's anything that's not, they might be the one. But
for sure,
the Hurricanes right now with Cam Ward, they're what now? What, 10th right now in the country?
They're ranked 10th, correct.
Right now, which is pretty damn good. And then kudos to the Caneswear podcast too. Caneswear, sponsored to the channel, to our shows, and now partner of the network, friend of the network, part of the FTSN family. Officially joined the family as well as a content creator. They have the Caneswear podcast. They did episode 3 last night. There's first episode was awesome. Their second episode, they had almost 2,000 people watched. And yesterday we're at 682 people watching. If you haven't seen that show yet, got to check out the Canesboro podcast with Brett and the Canesboro crew. We got Brett, Brad, Mondo, and Uncle Cliff. They were all on there. And man, what a killer show. They recapped the FAMU game. They previewed the Ball State game, talked about the Ball State's chances, and of course what the score was. Of course, they're most of them are predicting that 50 burger on Ball State, and it's exciting, man. It's a good time to be a Canes fan. It's a good time to be a South Florida sports fan. But Alex, man, very quick, your thoughts on the Miami Hurricanes, dude. Like, how are you feeling about them?
Well, it's the 3-year plan that we always talk about with any head coach incoming, especially in a college football, where this is now officially, realistically, Cristobal's recruiting class, and obviously his transfer portal. It's a transfer portal destination. And the thing about Cristobal and his staff is that they're doing it the right way. They're not just giving up on recruiting and just relying on transfer portals. Like, they're building a base. They're building a foundational piece where it's evolving and organically growing from within in regards to development. And they're recruiting now, once again, you notice what they're recruiting. They're recruiting football players. The mass alone in size, weight. Now you're seeing giants walk out on that field. That offensive line is very impressive. And their defense is athletic. Like, this is Miami Hurricanes football. You're finally seeing it again, the physicality, the speed, the aura around the program. And Cam Ward, I'm predicting here, if he somehow falls out of the first round, I hope the Miami Dolphins select him as Tua's backup, because Cam Ward is poised, collected. He's going to be, for sure, top 3 Heisman candidate if he stays healthy. The way the season is going, and the way he's calm in the pocket, even when he has to flush out of the pocket, he seems to be in command at all times. He doesn't get flustered. He's very even keel. He doesn't get high, doesn't get low. He's exactly what you want in your quarterback. And I am glad he picked Miami, because there was rumors always that he was going to declare for the NFL draft. I guess he got his projections back.
Would have been 3rd, 4th round pick probably.
So now it's perfect. Now not only do you put Miami back on the map, and like, people talk all they want, I think we can go on a run like Alabama had when Saban started there. And if this continues talent-wise, you're talking about 4 or 5 national championships within 10-year window. It's realistic. If everything holds up, it's in. And obviously competition is going to be fierce across the board. But you have Cristobal, you have a destination, you have a university that finally, after many years, is investing money in the program that basically built that university. People forget the University of Miami is a private institution. It's not a public university. It's not a state university. So they do have a lot of money. They have a great health system, but now they're investing in the football team. And come on, let's be frank. This has always been this way. Now it's just official. College football is a business. People want to talk about athletes and education. No, bullshit. College football is a business. What does the university care about? College football brings in a lot of money. When you have an on-campus stadium, merchandise, ticketing, everything. So it's a moneymaker. And when your football team is top 10 every year in and out, you're going to make more money. You're going to play those primetime games. You're going to win national championships. And all this does, Cam Ward, look at the recruiting class, what it's going to do. UF recruits looking at UM like, you got to come here. And why? Because this is back to Schellenberger. It's the state of Miami. You're recruiting Miami talent. You're recruiting football players that want to stay here for many years. We, for some reason, decided not to do so. And we lost, period. It's going to be a generation. We were almost irrelevant for 20 years. And that's unheard of in Miami football.
Yeah.
We almost went to the death penalty. We've gone through scandals left and right, but it seems to be in good hands with Cristobal, where this could be his retirement spot. Like, I don't see Cristobal leaving for another job. Like, this is his forever job. And I just think they're in great hands, and they have the backing of everyone at the university.
So, no, great points. And you hit one on the head that they kind of brought up yesterday with Cam Ward, that he could have went to get drafted, and it would have probably been a third or so fourth round pick, and he decided to bet on himself, go back into college football, and then transfer to the University of Miami. I think it is. He's going to leave after this season. So he's making the best of his opportunity. I did see though that one of the latest projections, somebody did a mock draft. I don't know what site did or whatever, but they had him being drafted by the Carolina Panthers in round 1.
Bro, Carolina, man. Carolina still to this day. That trade is going to haunt him for years, bro. That's how you destroy a franchise for a generation.
Will, what's up, brother? Will's in the house. He's been waiting for us to come back to Wednesday night so he could watch us. He's been waiting. So 305 Sports now. If you're talking Miami Hurricanes, we were just talking about the Caneswear podcast. If you love the Miami Hurricanes, you love Miami Hurricanes content, go check out 305 Sports now. Not only Hurricanes, Dolphins, Heat, anything Miami, 305 Sports now. Yeah, you were. I saw the picture. He was at open house for school. So it's all good, my man. It's all good.
Did you see, Bobby, when you mentioned the Panthers, did you see the Panthers post in regards to the 9/11 tribute and the fans posting the comments below? When you can, even now if you want, during the show or after, go look at the Carolina Panthers. It's a meme all over X. Is the Carolina Panthers obviously commemorating 9/11? Yeah. They post something, and then the fans just started going off on them in regards to their 9/11. Like, always remember 9/8. It's like another receiver goes down. It's a bunch of things, bro.
What?
You gotta see it.
I'll check it out.
The fans went insane. But hey, realistically, I forgot who mentioned that. Carolina's in a tough situation there in the NFL where everybody's going up. I forgot who talked about this today, but they have a severe problem. They can't turn this around because they're going to start losing some fanfare from there. Like they're in a deep hole, man.
Yeah, Carolina. And again, I'm not giving up on Bryce Young. I'm not a Carolina fan.
No. But
as a player, obviously his size, it's hard to find a player his size that succeeded in the NFL. He has the talent. Obviously, I don't think he has the team. He's on the wrong team. He needs to be with the right coach, the right type of organization that could better him and make him succeed as a quarterback, whether that may be Seattle or whatever, maybe Denver, whomever. He's in a bad spot. And, it's going to suck for him if they do go that route. They are bad all around. It's not just on Bryce Young. Ownership gets involved. It's kind of a sticky situation in Carolina. It's kind of crazy how far they've fallen. Because at first they had Jake Delhomme, Steve Smith coming. Those guys, Carolina was always an awesome type of team where you're like, they weren't your team, but you're like, man, I respect
those are the Ron Rivera teams.
Huh?
Those were the Ron Rivera teams.
Ron Rivera, dude.
They had a tough identity.
Enough love. He doesn't get enough respect.
Yeah.
He's gonna be on the live there. Yeah. But just say with Cam Ward, because a point you brought up, and great. I'm happy Will's back here in the comments. But something that they brought up yesterday, and it's kind of true. We know Cam Ward is only playing one season in Miami. We know he's going to go get drafted. More than likely, if everything kind of continues the way it's going, the way it's trending, he'll be a first-round pick in and out the door, and Miami could be better for it. Reason being, because you go, damn, man, we lose him, then who, or what are we going to – because obviously last year we didn't have anybody. There's nobody like Cam Ward that we're – but Miami could be in a situation where – other players, other quarterbacks who are maybe backups and who are 5-4-star players that are not getting the opportunity, or maybe they just don't want to be there anymore. They're looking what's going on in Miami. They see what Miami did to Florida. They see where this team is going. They're seeing Cam Ward go from a 3rd to 4th round prospect to possibly a 2nd to 1st round prospect, possibly top 10, top 5. And they're going, hey, wait a second. Miami's back.
Yeah.
Look what they just did to Cam Ward's career. He could be in the Heisman Trophy winner by the end of the season. If that happens, it could be like an Alabama situation where, every year, they had, I'm trying to remember his name now, but anyway, you got, was it AJ McCarron or whatever? Then you got
McCarron.
Then you had Jalen Hurts. Then you had Bryce Young. Now you got Jalen Moreau. You have guys kind of going in and out, in and out, in and out.
Well, right here, Emory Williams.
I could see where a player could go, hey, you know what? If Miami, Emory Williams, yes.
Yeah, Luke Nichol. He's true.
Well,
they have a pipeline.
They have a pipeline. But I could see a player who's maybe like, hey, I got one more year left, and this guy's where they could say, okay, come to Miami. And that's the thing to go for a quarterback. That could go for anybody. Look at what happened with Damian Martinez. And that's somebody Will and I talked about before the season. Will was really high on when that, and look what he's done. So
he's like Marshawn Lynch, bro.
Dude, he's a beast.
He's a beast, man.
when you see, when you're looking at that and you saw what Florida was doing, look, Darian Coleman in 2026, there you go. When you saw what Miami was doing after the game with Florida and they were going to the recruits and they were saying, come on, trust me. They weren't just talking to Florida recruits. They were talking to the nation. Nothing, the college football, there are certain teams that when you go, man, if college football is better when this team is great.
Yeah, absolutely.
You think, and of course you go the Trojans, Texas, Tennessee, Michigan, whatever. College football is amazing and it's great when University of Miami is great because everybody remembers, the team of the 90s and the 2000s and how great those squads were and how everybody wanted to be a Miami Hurricane, and the legends that came out of it. They want to bring that back. And right now you're kind of seeing that there's a possibility that could come back. So it's really cool to see. Guys, again, if you are diehard, you love the Miami Hurricanes, you're diehard, maybe you're not diehard, you're just go check out 305 Sports Now, Will Patrone, awesome, amazing content, awesome guest. FTSN with the Caneswear podcast, they're killing it. There's a lot of great content creators for the Miami Hurricanes. Will is one of the top ones there. Brett and Caneswear podcast, they're getting there. It's really cool. You're okay, brother. It's all good. You go ahead and keep commenting. George is in the house, Finn's Faithful Podcast. He just did his first episode this week. I was his first guest. I was honored to be his first guest on his show. Guys, if you're a Miami Dolphins diehard, go to Finn's Faithful Pod on YouTube, man. He had his first episode. I'm very excited about what he has planned. He does, of course, regular podcast audio, but he just got into doing streaming, and I helped set him up. He's so excited. He has so much passion. Will and George, Will of 305 Sports Now, George of the Finn's Faithful Podcast, friends of the network, my friends. Glad to have them watching, guys. Go check them out. And hey, we have over 63 people watching live, which is really cool. So whether you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, or X, Facebook, wherever, we thank you watching East 10th Street Boys straight out of Hialeah. Hit that like and subscribe button. If you're anywhere other than Twitter, come on over and join us and come talk. Nikki's back in town. This is a personal note. Nick is back in town. Much love to you, brother. Much love to you.
He made it 9/11.
Yeah, Nick's back.
He made it back in town.
Shut the fuck up.
I remember. I feel bad when I said it because
I remember it. Like, no joke. Wait, now that you say that, because I saw some stories on X today, and it reminded me of when we were during 9/11.
Oh, September 11th, yeah.
Because I think everybody remembers where they were.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
And I started remembering, and I was reading, one guy, the Ugly Do Wrong story. He lived in New York at the time, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then Ashley from 305 Sports Babe, and I'm like, God. And I remember, dude. I mean, we were in South Florida. I was at Doral Academy at the time.
Yeah, we were.
And I remember that day we were right under the airport, and I had no idea what was going on. No idea. I was in Dr. Glatzer's class, science.
I was in Weiler's class. Yeah, Weiler, of course, Glatzer. Dr. Glatzer. I was in Weiler's.
Hair. He used to let me bring Murray to class. And I remember, I was sitting in class, and all of a sudden you hear is that like, George so-and-so, Will so-and-so, Mary Sasso, all these names. Please come to the office. You're going home. And I remember we were like, whatever. Then another list of names. You're going home, and I remember going, "What the hell?" And you look in the little window. You start looking in the window, and you can see people like walking in the hallways, and you're going, "What the hell's going on?"
Well, lunch was empty. Oh,
man. Really? Yeah. Well, I remember all of a sudden it goes, part of it. Robert and Nicholas Melendez come to the office. You're going home, and I'm like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
And I remember walking out in the hall. Yeah, I remember in the hallway when I got in the hallway. There were kids running out in and out, and teachers kind of. And Nikki told me that his teacher, he was a bald guy. I don't know if it was history or whatever, but he said that his teacher had the TV on. So Nikki was always kind of aware of what was going down.
Yeah.
And somebody came up, somebody said, "Do you see what's happening?" I mean, you could hear the airplanes going, landing because they ordered the airplanes. And I remember
they grounded every airplane in America.
And Nikki, and I remember I said, the kid asked me, he goes, you hear what happened? I said, no, I don't know. I don't know what happened. He goes, they're attacking us. They're attacking us. I said, and I remember I got in the car and I could hear when the plane, it was such a terrible, horrific day that you never want to relive. That's one thing I don't watch TV anymore on 9/11. That's, because they used to do it where they played the news from the start to the end.
Correct.
When it happened, it's horrific, and it's so sad. And it's like something where you never could get past. So always, to those still suffering with those memories that had lost their family, whether they were in the airplane or in the towers or the first responders or whomever, always my prayers and my condolences to them, because those memories still to this day, and I wasn't directly impacted.
Correct.
Still are fresh in my mind, So you said whose class were you in?
I was in Weiler's class, and actually that was the first time. I knew the Twin Towers, but when they came and said, "Oh, they're attacking the World Trade Center," the magnitude of it really didn't hit me, because I didn't understand what the World Trade Center was. Like, I understood there was 2 towers, 2 buildings, but the commerce that was there, the lives that were there, everything that revolved around there, from childcare to restaurants to multiple corporations. And it's just like you said, it's not in your city, but as a nation, that's the first time we ever felt vulnerable or at risk, because we didn't know what was going to happen after that. We knew we were going to retaliate. We knew that we were going to get back at somebody, but it was, if you remember the time, it was obviously it was very somber for a few days, because you just realized the mass casualties and how many lives changed in an instant. And due obviously to courageous acts of many, a lot of people were saved. A lot of situations were resolved, per se, if we want to say that. But it took the nation a long time to recover, emotionally, and you can say now the after effects are still being felt by certain individuals, first responders. So I'm happy that the nation started to take care of those first responders that had long-lasting health effects, that for most of them causing cancer and debilitating injuries, for those that survived. And that doesn't go unnoticed or unappreciated across the board, because of people like that, we have it today, and we're going to have it tomorrow. So it's a reminder of who we are and what it takes to be who you are. And unfortunately, the position that we have in the free world and the position that we have globally, and we don't take that lightly. And I understand. And obviously,
I remember it spoke that beautifully. And one thing I did see, I think OJ McDuffie wrote it, and it's so true. And I've always thought that too. It's like that was one of the times, and it has been for a while, where the country was truly united. And I'm not going to get into that right now.
No, but it's true. But
back then, it didn't matter what you were.
It was us against
party,
the world.
Yes, color,
correct.
Woman, man, whatever. Correct. We're all Americans.
Correct.
We all were standing together, hand in hand. We all were proud to be an American.
Yeah.
We flew that flag high. I remember it was.
But you know what sucks, man? And when you say things like that, what kind of, and I always come back to it. It takes disaster to unite people, like natural disasters.
Well, it's like, to me, I'd always thought of it like a family.
Yeah. Exactly.
Where you might be having, I'll say, us, even though we've had, I've told that before. It's a time we haven't talked before and whatever, but you and I, obviously, we're close, we're like, we're blood, basically,
Yeah.
You and I could be going at it, and it's like, what, Alex, fuck you, I'm done with you, whatever. We're fighting, and we're, you're over here, and our wives are trying to get us back together, and they're like, come on, no, F him, I'm done, I don't want to deal with him, blah, 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 and he's always wrong about the Heat, I'm always right, I can't deal with him anymore, and
you always got to throw it.
I will always go there, anyway, Christ, bro. Can't go, but anyway, what I'm saying is,
contract, Justin Wilson was going to get drafted.
Yes, say it all, I've hit on 3, Heat draft picks,
Jesus Christ, man,
I wake in the morning, I piss
fuck this podcast.
That's right. You see, there it goes. No, my point is, we can get into the biggest fight.
Mm-hmm.
We won't talk for whatever. You could go a couple months or whatever. We got lives. But once something goes down, once something happened to that person, holy crap, something bad happened. They need, it's like that goes out the window. It doesn't matter.
Of course.
You know what I mean? And that's how that was. It's like that's when people realized in our country, it's like, wait a second, we're all on the same side here. We're all a part of this. And it's just that I just remember that. And I, remember when President Bush walked out in that Yankees game.
Yeah.
Through that first pitch. It was one of the most awesome moments that ever happened. And the whole country was like to see that. And he stood out on his own and, and then, talk about wrestling, WWE SmackDown when Lilier Garcia, and it was the first big sports venue, whatever you want to call it, that had their first event 2 days after it happened. And it was huge. And anyway, just a lot of memories, things to reflect on. And things that it's funny because you go, man, I don't really want to think about it. Not funny, but you don't want to go, I don't really want to talk about that too much. But it's like you start to reflect and you go, damn.
It's appreciative, man. It's appreciative. And like I said, and I know me and I know you, and publicly, ever since I was young, I was taught very early, don't talk about religion, don't talk about politics. So it's not getting to that point. But when you just mentioned unity, that's something that has been missing for a while. And the more division you create, the more difference you see when you really are not that different at all. You might be a different color. You might be from different heritage. You might have many differences, but there's a commonality in everybody that you want to improve life. You want to take care of your countrymen. Like that's the epitome. To me, that was the epitome. And people talk about George Bush, and it's funny to me because as I've gotten older, I've gained more respect for George Bush because that position that he was in, I wouldn't envy that position at all because you're the leader of the free world and the free world is under attack. And your decision, he made many bad decisions at times. You can always, hindsight is 20/20. Leaders have always made bad decisions at times. But the position that he was in and the leadership that he took in that moment, you felt safe that day. You felt like you had someone that was going to take care of you. And he was going to do everything in his power to make sure his country was not under attack and protected. And to me, still to this day, with all AI advances, all progressions in the world, the fact that we still try to prove points by fighting wars and attacking each other, it's already beyond the realm of I understand it's in our nature at times, but if there's anything that you take from 9/11 is united, you're always going to stand. You're always going to stand. Doesn't matter if you have differences of opinion and you don't like certain things. Like you, bro, is like you might not like the same thing I like, but that difference makes a balance worldwide. That's the point of it. You don't want to have if you come on a podcast with me, right, and we agree on everything, what's the fucking point of doing that? You're just repeating what I'm saying, or I'm agreeing with what you're saying. Like now, if it happens to be that we agree on something, that's perfect. That's okay. That's natural. That's organic. But the difference, the versatility that we all provide, and you could bring it in sports and football, balance the run and pass game. You can't just be one dimensional. That's life, man. That's life. And it sucks that it takes sometimes disasters for people to get together, like hurricanes, tornadoes. Like, why can't we always be that way? Like, why can't we all help each other in a time when, not only in a time of need, but in time of happiness?
Yeah. Human nature.
Yeah, human nature.
Saying, united we stand, divided we fall. And it's true. Those words are,
and it's forever truth, and it's never going to change. It's never going to change.
Never. So there you go. We went to a deep dive there. It's just fun. Kind of recognize it. We went on a whole other thing. And that's okay. Like that's what we do on East 10th Street Boys, man. It's straight out of high. It's straight out of highlight, but it's sports, life, and looking back.
Whenever we do a deep dive, we got to call it the Shannon Sharp because he went on a deep dive.
Oh, Alex. No.
Here all day. I mean, he did it. It wasn't me. He was on IG Live.
Yeah, that's on him.
That's on him, bro.
He has to live with that.
Problem.
I mean,
hey, that's my problem, bro. That's you.
Hey, that's not my problem, bro. Hey, bro. Hey, bro. That's on you, bro. That's on you.
I didn't do it.
You should have turned that phone off. You should have been like Alex. Before Alex goes to bed every night, he makes sure everything's off.
Before you do any activities, you turn everything off. Boom, 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 boom,
make
boom,
sure.
boom, boom, boom. Cover the TV, cover everything.
It goes for everything though, too. Like, that's like I don't know how many people are probably happy now that the likes on X are private now.
Oh, for sure.
Whatever you
know
want.
how many people like things by mistake, and then
dude. I always make sure. Like, I mean, I try to stay away from as much stuff, and I try not to comment or do anything.
There's a creepy factor to that, by the way. Like people just looking at pictures. Like, for example, if you, to me, it's always hilarious. Is if someone is looking at a picture like 3 years ago and you like it or something, and then people are like, whoa, why were you liking my picture at 3:14 in the morning? That it took 4 years. Like, what
I always like keep my hand away, because I'm sleeping at night, or I'm not sleeping, but before I can't sleep. I'm like, the biggest thing is like, oh shoot.
When you call, to me, even when you're scrolling, you know what's happened to me actually by mistake? Like, I'm looking, for example, I have an appointment with a client, and I'm looking for a number or like an address or something to write down, and I accidentally call him, and it's like 2:30 in the morning, and I'm like, oh my god. Thankfully, it's happened to me with people that I know, so they haven't picked up, or like their phone was on like not disturbed, and then they'll call me back in the morning like, yo, is everything okay? I saw a call. I'm like, my bad, bro. It was
you've done that quick. To me. You've called me before.
I called you, but
I got you.
I got you. I wasn't talking shit about you though, right? Like,
no, it was a Shannon Sharp moment. I had to hang up the phone. What the hell?
It's like, whoa, we clapping? What's going on?
Well, they must be watching a show. Oh God! They're not watching a show. Hang up the phone. Now you don't know how to hang up the phone. You throw it. Oh God!
Like, all of a sudden you forget.
Your car radio's going like, oh
shit. You link it to your TV.
I would say I for work. They asked questions, because they're doing some kind of thing called Credo Week, and every day is a certain thing, and yesterday was
what is it called? Credo Week?
Credo.
Oh, Credo. Okay.
And it's kind of like a Spirit Week type of thing, I guess. Today was Red, White, and Blue Day, obviously for 9/11. And
Spirit Week for adults.
yeah. God. And if anybody's watching, great job. If Credo Week.
Amazing. Great.
Awesome. No, they put a lot of work. Kudos to them. It's cool. But they had a cool thing with our team called the Rockumentary, like a documentary, Rockumentary, it's called it. And they had like questions like, hey, who is this person? And it would be a mystery. So like they tell you, like mine was, I'm from, I had other answers, but they only put these ones. I'm from Fort Lauderdale. I wanted to be a pro wrestler when I was a kid. The greatest memory is my kids, and I find awkward situations funny. And like that type of thing right there. It's like, you're looking at something like the worst thing. I was watching it. I was finding exercises on my phone. Okay. And that's what I do. Like before I go to bed, but obviously I walk on the weekends. I'll do these long walks, but before I go to take a shower, I'll do exercise. I'll do push-ups and whatever. But I was looking on my phone and apps, ones that don't have to pay anything, but you have to pay everything. And anyway, I found these videos, and I'm like, all right, cool. So it's like, you want to stretch your arms and you stretch your leg. And my Bluetooth was on. So Eliana has the microphone out there. She's doing karaoke. She's in my room. And so Toddy comes to my door. Hey. I go, what? She goes, what are you watching? I go, I'm watching exercise videos. What are you talking about? She goes, oh, you're on Bluetooth. I went, oh, she goes, I'm hearing stretch your legs, open your legs. I'm like, oh no, oh God. And it's like, you start going, wait, stop. I'm going, God, wouldn't that be horrible if like, you're like, oh, watch out,
Yeah.
What are you doing there? Nothing.
It's on everybody's hearing you.
Because now your phone can go to your TV.
Mirror imaging. Yeah, everywhere. That's mirror imaging.
So like, you got to turn off the Bluetooth. You got to turn off the Wi-Fi. You got to it's like, Jesus.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
I never felt so guilty about watching workout, like it was a stretch to stretch yourself out before you start doing all these things.
Yeah,
I swear it was an exercise video.
It was.
I'm not Shannon Sharp.
I mean, well, it is exercise. So yeah,
Anyway,
Uncle Sharp was also doing exercise.
He was working the glutes.
We're working the glutes. I'm telling you, bro. Oh man.
I was like, oh God. Anyway,
Pete's cobbler.
very quick. So we're at the hour, but that's okay. But I wanted to ask, we usually do random questions, but I had one because school started.
Yes.
My kids have been in school for a couple weeks or a few weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
Yours just started a week ago, right?
Well, no. They started, I want to say 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago.
Mid-August.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
mid-August.
Still, okay, right
there.
So
relatively new. Yes.
I was thinking about it today because, it's still, it's kind of, Tristan's thing right now. He's still kind of, it's a different type of teacher than he's used to. So it's kind of hard for him trying to adjust to that. New friends, his friend that he always had for the last 2 years now is in a different class. So, he's going to deal with that. And Audrey, she's in theater and she's in, she got casted as Gretel in a play from Hansel and Gretel.
Hansel and Gretel? Wow.
Yeah. Well, it's some big play with different princesses and different fairy tales. And then she got casted as Gretel.
Adaptation. Okay.
Yeah. So she was like, I really want a speaking part. And she did it. So I'm very proud of her. She's 11 going on 21. And I mean, she's like, dude, Alex, you know how I am. No, you should stay quiet. I'll let you pick and have fun. But if I start picking on you, you're done. Like, you're done. I will go for the jugular, So, but Audrey is the same way. Audrey and I can go at each other. And, if you don't know us, you might go, oh my God, that father's really mean. He picks on his daughter. But she is just as mean. But we have fun, and she loves it. Like, she was so mad at me because I was rushing to play Uno. She's like, you were funnier yesterday. I'm like, just go. Put the damn card down.
Yeah.
But anyway, and then Tristan's back in basketball. But I started thinking about it. I was like, man, it's a good topic to talk about the show for a wrap up. First day at school. Were you somebody that enjoyed the first day of school? Like, were you like, oh yes, I'm back at school, and you're meeting new teachers and doing all that, and like looking for what class you were in and all that, or you were like, ugh, I gotta go back to school?
Oh no, I was excited, man. I was excited. I mean, obviously, like, I don't know if it happened to a lot of people. I could never sleep a full night's rest. I could never have a full night's rest the first day of school. Like the night before, I was always like, I would go to sleep until like 2 a.m, 3 a.m. So it sucked because I was excited, but I was always tired my first day of school because I will only sleep like 3 or 4 hours. So, and I don't know why it was, because I wasn't really nervous about anything. What I found it cool because to me was, oh no. To me, people, I never understood that part of like, oh my God, I gotta go to school. Like for me, it's not, I'm not saying it wasn't difficult, but I actually enjoyed my time in school. Like, I didn't find it like, oh my God, a drag, I have to go to school. So I don't know if I had good teachers and I really enjoyed my time with teachers. I mean, there was a period, middle school, the transition to middle school. Like I had certain situations going on. So that part was difficult in regards to it. But aside from that, I always look forward to first days of school because it was always a cool thing. I'm like, oh, I wonder which girl's gonna end up in our class. Like that crush that you had the year before, and then you're like, oh, I wonder how they look in the summer. Because, like I said, this is the difference. No, come on, we're all adults here. We're all adults here.
Your wife's in the other room.
No, my wife's right here. She's right there.
I knew it, bro. I told you. Shut up, Alex.
She's right there, bro.
Who's the crush, Alex?
Oh, my teacher knows the crush.
Oh, and also,
you see?
You wanted to make sure.
She can't hear me, but I hope she knows I was saying, don't shut the fuck up.
And you want to make sure, like, if there was like a fine teacher or something, you want to end up in their class. But like, you want to see who were your teachers. You always want to see who you ended up with. Like, people don't understand this. That was the difference between us now and us back then. You would just get a paper mailed to you of your homeroom. You didn't know your schedule until you got home to school. Like, until you got to school, you didn't know who you were with.
There was a one time.
So
there
that was
one
the cool
time.
part. Now these kids know who they're with.
Yeah, there was one time. Remember when
Bobby didn't say anything.
I didn't say nothing. It was Alex who said something. I didn't say nothing. I know my audience.
I didn't say nothing.
I didn't say nothing. There was only one girl for me, and that's my wife, Tatiana. That's it. I don't talk about any other woman, boy. I don't talk about any other woman, boy. Ain't no woman worth remembering.
Man, we're talking about 15 years ago.
It's crazy to think that, right?
High school, bro. 20 years ago, I graduated high school.
Holy shit, bro. Sorry for those. But like, it's crazy to think that.
Ancient times.
God, dude. Sometimes you think you still go, man, it was only like, no, it was more than a day. It was
always put it in perspective. I mean, like when I graduated high school, like phone screens were still like super small. There was MySpace? When did MySpace come out?
high school.
06, 07?
Yeah, I think it was like right towards high school.
What was it? 04? Shit, I don't even remember MySpace.
Jamila was one of the first one who got on there. Damn well.
Oh yeah, Jamila for sure. She always had the songs on MySpace. Like she always had. Yeah, of course.
The top 10. You had to be very delicate with your top 10. Who was your number one? Who was your number 2?
Yeah.
Oh
my God. Do you remember people getting upset if you won in their top 10?
Yeah, that's what I mean. You gotta be careful with your top 10.
8.
Huh?
It was 8.
Top 8?
I knew the expert.
Oh, top 8. I didn't even know that.
Look at that.
Oh my God! Now you say top 8. Do you remember the Fave 5 with Dwayne Wade? Like with the Charles Barkley commercials when he was in T-Mobile with the sidekicks?
Yes. Yeah, remember that? The
good times.
Remember they used to do it where they would put the paper, the roster
on the board. Correct.
You had to get to school, and then you would go in the gymnasium and you'd look and you go, "Oh, I'm in there." Dude, I hate that. I hate it with a passion. I hated that with a passion.
For real? You didn't like first days of school?
No, I didn't mind first day of school because I wanted to, obviously get to know like what programs, obviously when I got into high school, I really wanted to play football. I was like, I want to do football, and I did it. But like, one of my worst, I don't know what school it was when, I wasn't, admittedly, I was not good with school. I don't want to say I'm smart, but I love history. I could study. I know I have a good knowledge, but I wasn't a good student.
You had trouble with math, right?
Retaining, I wasn't good with retaining. Like, if I'm sitting there and you're going and in the class, and it's my daughter deals with this, Audrey, and that's why I sympathize with her when I'm working with her or when I'm listening about her. It's like, this they're talking about it in class and then they keep going, but you're still like, damn, I didn't get that. Like, but then everyone else is still moving. You're like, I don't want to say
so
shit.
You're afraid to ask a question?
Yeah, you're kind of like,
you gotta ask the question.
But that's what I mean. Like I'm not gonna say shit. And so, but like, there was I've told Tati this story before. It's like, I remember one of those times when we went to school and I went in that roster. Nikki was a grade behind me, and I remember and I looked and and I saw, wait a second, I'm not in what my grade should be.
Oh,
and I went back to the other grade and I went, holy shit, they never told me nothing. I didn't go to summer school. They didn't tell me summer school. And I remember I was in the same grade as Nick. And I'm like, that from that day, I was like, I hate that shit. I thought it was so silly. They should have told me way ahead of time. I remember Mom was pissed about it, but I was after since then, I was done with the first day of school.
That's insane. That's insane that
was horrible. I was trying to remember what school that is. I think that was Springs. I think it
was Springs? Springs High?
Not maybe Spring. No, not Springs High. I think it was Springs Middle because Nikki wasn't with me.
Springs Middle?
Yeah, remember Nick left. Nicky went to LA in Springs Middle. He was in LA. He left and went to
And then
LA.
He was homeschooled?
Yeah, after that. Because
I think he was the first person I ever knew that was homeschooled. Like that wasn't a common thing back then, I believe.
No.
At least where we're from. I mean, I'm pretty sure, but
that's why I was like, fuck that place. But then other than that, and I thought the last day of school was so overrated. People crying and throwing stuff, and I was like, honestly, it was so stupid to me.
I used to love the facts of. Well, you remember in middle school, the last days of school, they would start. I still remember my last day in middle school. Now he wasn't a friend of mine, someone I knew. He punched the assistant principal that we used to call him Twinkie. Do you remember Dr. Cole?
Yeah. Yep.
So they punched Twinkie thinking, oh, I'm out of middle school. He started his high school, his 9th grade years under indoor suspension. So he was suspended for like a month in school. And obviously, and he went to juvie and all that too, because it was a attack. It was an assault. So I always remember them back then. Springs Middle had the portables. So there was, and for full disclosure, it wasn't the last day of school, but it was almost close to the last day of school. They had something called the black and white fights. So, and you remember those? I do. And then it was kids hiding knives under the portables. There was no guns. I don't really believe there was no guns.
No.
There was a few stabbings. I remember there was a girl that got stabbed in the face, and it was like the weeks before school ended. But they were hiding shaving cream for like almost 2 weeks under those portables, because that was it back then. It was shaving cream.
It was always shaving cream
and eggs and getting eggs. So I remember those things, and I'm like, I understood it and it was all cool, but what I never got and I never understood was throwing the papers and creating a mess. Like, I didn't believe in that shit. You saw it in the movies, and people are like, oh, throwing the papers and oh my god, everything. But like, I never saw it in person. It was just like, peace out, bye. But then it was a lot of excessive drama with the girls and like signing the yearbook. Saying, oh my God, I'm not gonna see you. I'm like, come on, man. Like, for you, I was like, bro, I'll see you tomorrow, bro. You live right next.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I'll see you tomorrow.
I just left. I would not give I would sign yearbooks, but I would just leave. I'm not gonna do all this. I'm gonna see you next year. I'll see you.
It was one of those things. Yeah, like, oh, audio. Like, peace out, bro. I'll see you. I'll see you. I'll see you if I see you.
And I will say, full disclosure, I never participated in any black and white fights. I usually got along with everybody. And I did have one guy was like, oh, you're hanging out with, and I was like, shut up, dude. I never did any of that. Same thing when I was there. You see, he attended Springs. So
So it hasn't changed.
No, you see, and I don't know what it is now. I don't know anybody who attends now. But back, you see, I remember the black and white fights. I remember all that.
To me, what was insane, the weirdest last day of school to me was actually, I went to the Royal Academy from my freshman to my junior year, but I didn't tell anybody that I was transferring back to Springs for my senior year. So everybody from the Royal that I knew thought I was coming back the following year, and then I just didn't appear. And back then, we didn't have contacts like that. I mean, I had some of their numbers. But there was actually some people that I didn't see again for 10 years, 15 years. Yeah. And I don't know if maybe I should have announced it or maybe I should have said something.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
No, but evereverybody that I was close
unless you didn't really know them, like there was kind of like acquaintances, then that's cool. Like if it was like someone where like you saw every day, you're like, what's up, bro? And then, they also like they go next year, oh, where's Alex? And you didn't see like 15 years later. Like,
he gone.
I'm not letting that shit go. If I see you after 15 years, I'm gonna smack you.
I'll punch you in the face, bro.
I'm gonna smack the hell out of you.
I'm gonna knock your ass out.
Man, I love looking back. That's still cool. But anyway, we're at the hour-and-a-half mark. Dolphins versus the Buffalo Bills tomorrow night. That's gonna be a lot of fun. I will be at, so I got work, and then as soon as I get off work, I'm running home.
Yeah.
Are you
gonna do a post-game show too tomorrow?
Yeah. Yep.
Jesus Christ, You're gonna be up late, bro.
Yeah, I'm always up late. Pre-game, post-game. It's a season.
I don't sleep.
I sleep a little bit.
Oh, here we go.
What'd she say?
When I say you don't sleep, she goes, neither does your wife. Let her sleep.
That's your wife.
Her being her. Not
I know. She wants to. Tati sleeps. She sleeps a lot.
Tati sleeps all the time.
Yeah, she's fine. Trust me. What would she say?
She ain't sleeping now.
Yeah, she ain't sleeping now. She won't.
Because she's waiting for Shannon Sharp. Waiting for Shannon Sharp, baby.
Two. No, anyway.
Two on that thing.
That's right. That's what he wrote on there. R-Truth, who's a wrestler for WWE, he wrote on there, he's getting that hot too. That's what he wrote on there. Anyway, anybody who didn't know about it now is like researching.
Steve is asking if he could join the post game.
Absolutely, Steve. 100%, brother. You could join post game. I'll say, you could get in. You have access. I'll send you the link. I'll remind you either way, but you'll remember. Yeah, we're gonna put pregame immediately before the game. I think it'll be 6:00 our time, Steve. I know you're not saying pregame because you just did one earlier. But I'll be doing it 7:00 Eastern. The game will start. We'll watch the game, and then immediately after the game, we're going to do post game. So it'll be me, Finstanza, and Steve Malloy on there, which will be a lot of fun. Alex, great to be back with you, brother.
Always, my brother.
All right, guys, we appreciate you. We will wrap this up. If you're new to the show, we have 93 people watching right now. We appreciate you watching.
Welcome aboard.
YouTube. Yes, like and subscribe. Until then, see ya. Good night, Miami.
Gringos in the house. Straight out of Hialeah, no